Hello and welcome to Drakenmemoria. Yay! And what are we doing tonight? Well, tonight is our D&D live campaign. Well, if you're watching this on Friday, it's the rebroadcast and live campaign. And I'm gonna say it at the beginning instead of at the end. If we have 3 raiders or more, we're raiding another channel at the end on Friday. Just in case some people just watch this and you don't get the message because I usually say it at the end. So I did find another channel on Friday that I think I could raid, but I sort of feel weird raiding with 1 or 2 persons. So 3 more. Right. What else can I say? If you like the thunderstorm in the background, that's Ambient Mixer. If you like the world map, it's WonderDraft. If you like the dungeon map, it's Dungeon Alchemist. If you like the town map, it's Canvas of Kings. And I think I don't need to say anything else. Oh yeah. I keep forgetting to open this one here. Alright. So, what happened last episode? Here we are. This is what happened last episode. So, the party settled into the camp provided for them by an allied wizard, the lovely Antasia, in order to protect the Exiled, which has fallen to the world and needs to attune to the world. Many enemies will come for this being while it is vulnerable, and the party has decided to protect it. Well, they say no matter what, but almost no matter what, I'm pretty sure. You never know. Fortunately, help came to them in the form of old friends. However, even with this small reinforcements, odds do not seem to be in favor of our heroes. Alright, now let's see how they try to change the tide in their favor. Alright, let's go back to the little map. Believe we had just ended the first day, which means Fisher is looking into one of the maps. Fisher is looking out in his sentry rest. We've got Jorg. He is in one of the bed. Audience another the bed. Arunak. Well, he's outside, taking in the sights. And we have our 2 adventurers that just came in to help. Zidra and Isilna. And we have Antasia, who seems to be impossible to exhaust because she's always awake and you don't know why.
He's wide awake.
Alright.
Wide awake.
Yeah, I would have helped you with that, but I just realized that I don't know the music by heart, so. Let's go with sort of 2-3 weeks before that world equivalent to Christmas. We don't need rain. Photos. Here we go. Photos. Oh, that's why everything's weird in the images. That's because we don't have the right number. Here we go. Hold on. Ah. Okay, much better, much better. But I'm pretty sure that Remy wants to be Remy and not Jorg. So audience goes.
I don't know. He seems pretty into being Jorg.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely he's definitely very excited about being in Jorg. At least maybe, I don't know, what's the typical length of a dagger?
Between 1 and 2 feet. It's a measure that is easy to keep. A dagger is between 1 and 2 feet. A short sword is 3 feet. A long sword is 4 feet. That's a general measure that works. There are exceptions, but it's a general one.
You know what though? It's like because I was originally thinking about how deep the blade goes, but I love where your head is at. Why stop at the blade when it can just go all the way in? All the way down to the tip of the hilt.
Oh. Someone wants me to add them to my Discord. I've been working on this. I think you're a few weeks earlier. I found the tutorial that I was given last year. I got the one for this year, so hopefully that means I'll finish the Discord. Then you can simply go there and hopefully. Okay, what was I doing? Oh yeah, adding the Fisher's photo, so we don't have just a black screen. Here we go. I don't have the version of Fisher with a huge hat and now a trench coat. All right. So, well, Fisher is doing his Fisher things on top of a tower, so that's the reason why we don't go to him. And he sees stuff and understands things, but he does it in the corner over there, so we don't have to do it. Everyone went to sleep, and of course there's going to be a rotation, so that Azidra and Isalna don't get tired themselves. So initially, I believe it is... who amongst you wants to do the first round of first watch?
I'll do it.
All right, so it's gonna
to get all my sleeping done at once.
Right, that's why you want to do that. All right, everyone on a tower. That's the best way of looking at everything. All right, and here we are. All right, so okay. I'd say probably this happens in the first part of the night. You probably all have, in one way or another, a bit of a restless night. Jorg, everything you've been thinking about, all of this is slightly, probably overwhelming for you. The implication of everything that was said, that Fisher shared, how it can destabilize the world, how this fog bank outside can represent literally a shift in power for the next few decades, if not century, if any one of those people, those ill-intentioned people, get a hold of this creature, and simply how to coerce him if they go too far, force him to reveal things that has been revealed here. If the people are not prepared to that, this can create widespread chaos. So your night is probably spent thinking a lot as you stare into this fog bank, as you hear those little impacts that feels like someone threw something at the enchantment on the camp, on the walls, to protect it against minor incursions. This all night long.
Just gonna chisel their way through.
It doesn't seem like they are focusing on a single place. It's more like they're trying to test out what sort of defense there is. Like throwing something magical and... oh, it was deflected. Alright. But since there are more than one faction, everyone is trying their own thing, not with great coordination. So 5 people maybe trying the same thing on 2 different sides of the castle and of this fort, and then another group of doing that. And since they don't like the other, they don't tell them, and that way this group also tests out, and it goes on like this all night long, simply because there's no coordination, no real coordination amongst them. Now, that is as much a good thing as a bad thing. If they were organized, really organized, they already outnumber you a lot. And there's no worse enemy than an enemy that has time to think, to make a plan. But it's as much of a good as a bad thing, because, they may not be having enough time to think, but they're all going to be coming in a tidal wave at one point or another. One of them is going to just get enough courage, and he's going to start charging, and everything is going to just explode at once.
Uh-oh. Hopefully I'm going to be asleep when that happens.
And I don't wake up. Remy, why did you put sedative inside of Jorg's tea again? Right before battle. Come on.
Because he didn't have the materials for a diarrhea.
Oh, that's my classic.
It's like there's only so much he can find while rifling through Jorg's bag.
And for some reason, you remembered that tale that you've heard. I think you think you've heard it. You might have actually read it somewhere about a druid who was desperate for poison, and that's the only thing he had. So he coated his darts with diarrhea poison. And that's how the party found its way back through the dungeon, by following the huge line of diarrhea from several type of creatures. Yes, that was one of my first characters. The dungeon master didn't want to give me poison at low level, so I asked for something that makes everyone poop. It's a poison.
Dang.
The
And
thing,
it's
the thing that you don't hear from this story is that we were walking through a mine full of slaves, and I wasn't very good at it, so I mostly didn't hit any enemies. I just hit poor slaves. So hey, let's redo the cameras. Hey, you're 4 minutes early.
Yeah.
I
Damn it. I was gonna get off work on time, and then for like the second time in like a month, on the way back, we came up on a accident on the highway.
Come on, man.
just pretend you didn't see it.
It was kind of hard. They were blocking 2 lanes. They were okay though.
It could have been just a dead cat that everyone wanted to avoid. So yeah, Jorg, a lot goes through your mind as you're watching this dance fog bank. Not sure what the next few days will be like. Remy, I think you're the one that I'm most unsure of what would be most troubling for you. I mean, this entity represent a lot. Through your arcane studies, he represents a version of a truth that is as close as you can possibly get. According, if everything that's been written is right. But you have a chance to know for yourself. And it's just outside. It's quite literally... it's literally 40 feet away. But things that were said about the world, the universe, things that are not said normally. I mean, for you, it's odd because your mind can't imagine what's going to happen if all of this goes outside, if enemies coerce this being. But you've read about things like this. You know, when a church gains too much power, one that is too much attuned with chaos, that's probably a bit what that's going to be like. But that's just in books. Can't be that bad, right?
Then again, before he actually met dragons were just a matter of books.
Yeah. Well, you've seen some flying, but they were always very far away. Like I said, every time you go outside, roll a d20. If you roll a 20, then there's a good chance that you just looked up and it wasn't a bird that you saw. It was a dragon. And, oh, cool. Good luck today, dragon. But you never saw one from up close. Audience, I would imagine that your night is one of the most uneasy and restless you've ever had since you were a child.
Probably, yes.
You're about to defy your God in a way that is most likely irreversible.
That is probably what's gonna happen. But no, audience has a lot on his mind. He's wondering if his religion will still show up, who will be there, what will happen. He definitely is not having a good night's rest.
Instinctively, is there a person that your mind tries to reach out to? You know, that person that you says, I wish they were there.
No. I don't think there's like a person audience would like, honestly. Because this is very personal to him. I don't think there's a person I necessarily reach out to here. Because there's not like a person that's necessarily I know has dealt with something similar.
Okay. Well, in that case, as you're sleeping, your mind wanders and you fall asleep, and for a brief moment, you think you're at peace. You know, you don't have to think about all of this. Then suddenly you find yourself in a weird place. And when I say weird place, I mean
Your bedroom.
And
Back
Remy
in
is in your
Bahanor.
bed.
God damn it.
Duh! And you see Fisher's there. Oh, damn, it all starts like this. But we didn't hear the next part of it. Oh, well.
It's just us two, though.
Remy stayed awake all night.
He couldn't fall asleep, so he didn't come. I mean, you find yourself in a weird place because that's not something you would have built. It's not something you would have thought of. It's just not you. Half of the decor around you looks like a cozy cottage, but it's as if one wall had been removed, and instead the cottage transitions to an open gallery, just an open balcony with a roof over it, but nothing in front, and it's a full cloud cover. But there's still enough light so that you see everything outside. And there's a long chair. It's placed in a way that doesn't allow you to see if there's someone in. But you've never seen this cottage before. It's cozy. There's a very warm fire there. You recognize the scent of a few spices. And the fireplace seems to just emit peppermint scent.
I did it, guys. I found St. Nicholas.
Voice.
He's gonna be your next god. Yes.
Hey, listen. All I'm saying is that if I have St. Nick as my next god, a guy who gives gifts, not the worst. Not.
I don't know why, but I feel like Saint Nicholas would be more of a warlock patron.
Yeah, no.
But damn, that would be a really nice
He's
patron.
definitely got Archfey vibes.
Yeah. All right. I guess audience would go and look at who might be in the chair, or if anyone else is here, or he's like, okay.
As you're approaching, you notice that there's a plate that's mostly empty on one side. There's a mug. you think it's filled with, you want to say by the scent, something sweet. Once again, the idea of cinnamon and peppermint seems to be emanating from this. And on the plate, there are some little bits and pieces of crumbs. Maybe cookies, but yeah, you also want to say cake. And then you see a hand. You see a hand coming out of nowhere and reaching out for what's on the plate. Someone's definitely on the chair. That color's familiar. Sort of a purple, a deep purple color.
Purple. Okay. Odd. Whoever is here obviously seems to like sweet things and potentially peppermint and cinnamon. All right. Good information gathering. I'll keep walking.
You move forward and you hear a little hum. As if someone's trying to mimic something. Maybe a bird? You're not sure. But the hum itself isn't what draws your attention. It's the voice. Yeah, you're sort of kind of feeling you know that voice.
Audience rolls a history check or insight. I don't know. I think they're the same. Yeah, they're both +0. Oh no, history's -1. It does matter. Am I rolling an insight or a history?
Um,
To see if I recognize the voice. Would that be history or insight? Or investigation?
I think you could. Oh, that's an interesting question. I think all three could be interesting. So I'll let you decide. If you choose investigation, you'd go off things that you've seen around you, which you already know. You don't know anyone that seems to like those things. So, but you might be able to piece a few things together with that. The skin color of the person and the hum. Insight would be about how the person seems to move, how she gently, because it's a woman's hands, how she gently picks something out of the plate.
I'm going to go with investigation because I think that right now I'm mostly going off color and sound of voice. So that sounds like the most sense.
Okay.
13.
Whew, that's hard. You're looking around trying to figure out. You don't know anyone that feels that description. It's sort of a weird mix. I mean, the more you take in the sounds and the sight and what's in front of you, the more it feels like you're in the company of one of those person that seems to really like the festival that is just about to happen, which is the equivalent of your world of Christmas. But you don't know anyone like that. However, you want to say that you've probably met a few people who might have the proper let's not lose hope attitude that would possibly fit with it.
All right, well, whoever was here maybe brought me here for a reason, but they shouldn't be surprised. So I'll walk around to the other side to see who's in the chair. I'm not getting a hostile vibe, at least from this place.
No, definitely not. It's a cozy... You want to say there's probably an element of uneasiness that goes through your mind because it's a cozy maybe private vibe to the whole thing.
Well, I'm here for a reason, so let's figure it out. So audience will walk around. Never want to beat around the bush.
I guess the first thing that pops up when you walk around and look at who's there is the look on that face that you recognize almost instantaneously, but that tells you that, okay, that's not the person who brought me here because they look more surprised than I am. Sachet is in the chair, and she just freezes when she sees you midway through taking a bite of what's left in the plate. Audience? What are you what are you doing here? That's I No one's ever been here before. What the
I don't know. I'm dreaming, and I'm guessing from your surprise you didn't bring me here.
I didn't know anyone could be brought here.
I don't know. I get brought a lot of places, but I've never been brought here before. How are you? Are you doing all right? You guys still surviving?
She quickly dusts herself up, and you recognize the awkward attitude that probably the first time you encountered it was when you left your village because of the proximity of all Dragonborn. This attitude is not normal amongst you, I'd say, but
Yeah.
she's acting as if you surprised her in the shower. Even though she's fully dressed, it's sort of, you recognize that feeling of she's feeling really naked right now because you're not supposed to be there. She's not dressed the way that she usually is. It's usually more of something that blends in, grays, dark colors, things that would allow her to just move through the city without being seen, black, grays, very dark browns. She's wearing white.
So you see, this thing is, Sachet, my long-term plot to inception you that I've been working on for the past few months has finally come to fruition.
That's how Inception works. You go to sleep, and then when you're dreaming, you go into somebody else's head.
Reverse Inception.
It's outception.
Yeah.
There's even a little red bow tied to one of her horns. And this is when it hits you. Probably the best way to describe it is, oh, good lord. She's a Christmas girl. Thick and through.
I mean, she could have been a horse girl, so.
Adorable. Yeah, I hope you're doing all right. I mean, you're obviously still alive because.
Oh well, usually, you have to be alive to be here. What about you? I hope you're not here because this is the last thing you do before you move on to better world.
No, we're unless someone stabbed, unless I got killed in my sleep, I don't think I'm dead.
Okay, well that's probably a good thing. Well, what are you doing? Why would you be here? What happened? Is there something that
Well,
have
I
you
was
been
having kind of a restless night because. Do you know Exiled? You probably don't, do you? Because you lived on. I don't know if an Exiled has probably never came to your island. Are there any books about Exiled on your island? Do you know what an Exiled is?
I've read about them, but well, you've just told me that they're true, so I was going to say they're a myth. No one has ever seen one. It's just a story that has been brought back from some people who've been transported to this island. There's very little information about them. They seem
Yeah.
bigger than life and, quite honestly, very dangerous people.
Yes, I mean, that's what I was always told. But anyway, an Exiled fell, and we're in the process right now of kind of protecting it while it adapts to our world. Not 100% sure how, but it has to hear like the voice of our world. Anyway, it's not from our plane, and it has to adapt to it. So that's what we're currently doing. However, I was visited in a dream by my god, or the dragon, and he basically told me to kill kill this exiled, as is our religion. Before he could fully, get his power, which makes him, because he's very weak right now. Like, it would be he could easily be killed by anyone. And I lied to him. I rejected, and I'm guessing that I might actually end up having to reject my faith to him over the next few days, or at least reject him as a part of my faith, because I'm unwilling to follow through on his request to kill this exiled and betray my party and all those around me. And I've been sleeping fitfully because of all the question that brings up, what that means, what it means for me to betray everything I've basically ever known, and also even what that will mean for me as an adventurer. Will I lose my powers or just become a simple fighter? I don't know. I don't know what will happen. But too many things have happened since I last saw you. Too many evil deeds I've seen done in the name of my religion, and I'm unwilling to continue to follow it down this path that was not the path that I forged for it or created it for, to protect the weak, to help those innocent, to give someone something to look up to that will protect them in their time of need. Instead, I found myself with villages burned, people slain, friends poisoned, all in the name of what I thought, what I hoped I was building. And I can no longer follow it down that path.
I imagine that felt good to be said out loud.
Yes, I mean, it's been something I've been thinking of at least for a few months, ever since I, as I said, saw a village destroyed because of my religion, but I had never been fully willing to take that step until this moment.
Well, I can understand that, and everything you thought was real or true or good turns out to be the worst thing you actually have experienced so far. I can probably relate to that to some point. And I can imagine that the reason is why you're here is because this is a protected place. It is a place that Henshaw gave me when I needed to breathe a little. We've been running from the wizard recently. He's been more aggressive in trying to find anyone that may be plotting against him. It's the roads are being watched relentlessly, and Civ is making sure that people don't want to cross him. He doesn't have his blue color. So I'm hoping that there's some meaning to that.
The broken emperor to be. Oh well. We'll see what we can do. I don't know if emperor is the right word, but it sounded fancy, so I liked it.
And she's not going to argue because you have literature from around the world and she only has literature from her own island. So it may talk about a legend that's from outside the island chain where she is. So she's not going to argue with that.
Well, this is the first time audience talking to Sashay since he learned all the stuff that, like, the guy was supposed to, now Sashay might have to take his place, depending on what happens. But what Fisher learned and then told me.
Yeah. But also, Hinshaw did tell you at one point that you had a choice to make. You could take her out of the island and
Yeah.
condemned the island to more decades, if not centuries, of bad, or leave her there. And she will become a very important person, someone that would help a lot of people, but she would never see
Audience
the
doesn't
outside.
explain further. He just
No.
said broken emperor to me because he likes a flair for the dramatic.
Well, that's... So yeah, I can come here. Henshaw gave me this little marble that I can use, and it shapes a dream. So when I need a few moments, I take the pearl in my hand and I fall asleep with it, and it allows me to shape the dream the way I wanted it. And everything is in here. Everything that is here is... There are things from my past that I remember fondly. The cottage is where my father took me after he adopted me. And there were some of the best years of my life because no one was hunting me. And I know everyone has stopped punishing me because he was there. And he taught me so much. He taught me to read using my fingers. And when he died, his last gift was to give me eyes.
Yeah, that's a wonderful story. Or memory. I can see why this place is important to you. I wonder, my guess then is that Henshaw must have felt that my mind needed protection and probably brought me here.
Yeah. It could. In that case, he means to protect you, at least for a brief moment. He would be able to shield you from godly perception for a short period of time. He's not a god, but he is capable of much.
Well, what I've learned here is there are very different levels to what gods are and are not. Something else I've learned since leaving, since last time I left. A lot of different levels to gods.
Oh, there's a lot of literature about that. So many fates always thinking that they're the most powerful thing in existence, but then you read about this other god who is just so much more powerful than everyone else. And then you learn about a new entity. But there's bound to be one. There's bound to be one that was at the beginning of it all. One that existed outside of time.
Perhaps.
That one will be the first one, and it will be the most powerful thing you can possibly imagine.
My guess is, from what I've heard, is there might be two juxtapositions to each other, but one is missing. But let's not get into that here.
Yes, because I think there's nothing we can do for things on that level. Yes, well. Well, I hope you were able to take a moment to rest and recover and help your mind be silenced a little. And who knows? Um, Maybe Hans Katral can actually bring you a little bit of peace. That being the god that is above Hinshaw. The actual sun that you see rising from behind the mountains.
Perhaps. We will see. Tomorrow will be a day of battle, most likely, of question and answers, of promises and vows broken, and who knows what will be left in the dust of a battlefield watched over by so many eyes.
Well, if you want someone to talk to, I don't know if it's going to work. Usually, if I do this, I have to do it outside. But who knows? Maybe there's some different connection. And she just makes a single gesture, and you see her books appear in front of her. And she says, I did the same thing for Tobiashi, but he told me that he left your party and don't know when he'll be back. He's been taking care of a bunch
He's
of kids.
babysitting.
Yeah. I just hope that they're better than the little kid who kept trying to watch me undress. He'd been getting very imaginative lately.
Children will be children.
Well, apparently it happens more when you go from between 11 to 13. You know, there's a little thing that happens there that just screws with little kids' mind.
I don't know. I'm a dragonborn. I've dipped those years.
Well, that's why I'm explaining it to you, because I know you haven't gone through this. Or maybe you go through it at a different age.
I think so. Maybe.
Well, I guess the one who'd need the most explanation of this is Fisher. Anyways, here. Write your name in the book, and if it works, I'll be able to talk to you through the book. It's only one way, so I don't know. Do you want me to set up a normal moment during the week?
Sure. Let's do the third day at 2. I don't know what the week's.
I didn't mean that we need to have a fixed rendezvous every week. I just meant maybe you want me to call you again in 6 days. I don't know, something like this. Or maybe in 3 days, so we'll know that if it works, and if it doesn't work, well, maybe that's because you're dead.
Let's go 4 days.
All right.
I think that I don't know how long this thing will go, so let's go 4 days.
Write your name right here.
Okay.
And I'll try again in 4 days.
All right, I'm scheduling myself in for 4 days. You look like you have a pretty open schedule, but that's okay.
Well, I spent most of my time running away and hiding in holes with part of Fisher's family, and there's a sorcerer who really doesn't like you.
Yeah, I'll put running away and hiding in holes above audience and below audience name. I got you. All right, I'm scheduled in between running away and hiding in holes.
All right. She closes the book. And she just tried to use an ability of those that are Pact of the Pact of the Tome. If you write your name in their book, they can use the sending spell without using any material component and not using any spell slots. They can use it as much as they want. They think about it, you'll hear it, and your response will appear in writing on their book.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just wait for Remy to wake me up for a shift. Then I'm supposed to go on watch with him. I don't know how time works in here, so.
I feel like usually a dream happens in a way that it always feels like it ends right as you're waking up. So, if you're about to wake up, that means that time passed and someone's about to wake you up. Or, I can always wake you up. And she just raises one hand and you see the energy gathering. You easily recognize the Eldritch Blast spell.
No. I'm not sure how no. I'm not sure how my works in conjunction with physical body. So let's not go there yet.
Okay. Well, maybe something more physical. And she takes her book. The thing is that you remember how bad that hurts the first time you got hit by the book. But just as she takes her book, you feel something tugging on you and your mind just slips out and...
Oh, look, I'm waking up. Oh, no.
You see Zedra, who's there, says, "Come on, audience. It's your turn. Pick a friend and go outside."
All right. Thanks for waking me up, by the way. I was about to be hit by a book by a different pretty lady.
I guess you have friends in all very interesting places, including in your mind. Is there something that you are feeling you should
Audience gives no other explanation. He just goes to wake up. He already knows Azidra thinks he's weird. He just likes to keep it going.
So you wake up Remy, and a few moments later, Jorg comes in, and he's ready to sleep.
Anything going on, Jorg?
Just weird sounds. Sounds like people are shooting spells or something at the wall.
Well, that's what they
I
said.
didn't
They
see
said they'd be
anything.
testing the defenses. So as
Yeah.
long as that the sounds continue, I'm sure everything's standard. All right, me and Remy will go take our watch.
All right.
Get a good night's rest.
I will. I'll make sure to get some defensive spells ready too.
It's probably going to be a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Fisher, you
All right, you
see...
ready, Remy?
Remy, wake up!
No, Remy was watching you sleep the whole time. No.
He doesn't mind taking an exhaustion point, so long as he sees you sleeping. And sometime in your sleep you start flexing and it just rips your shirt. And
No, he can't actually take the exhaustion point. Mostly because he wants to have no exhaustion points for when we inevitably have to fight.
Yeah.
Well, if you're kind to Jorg, he might give you an extra dose of the tea, so you can use that tea to fend off the exhaustion and look at heavy sacrifice, but maybe worth it.
We also
Laxative
do-
by accident.
We also do know through transitive properties that Antasia doesn't use the tea to keep herself from being exhaustion. She is something else because she said she didn't recognize or know that much about the tea. So we know that's not a common thing for her. So we know it's something else that keeps her awake.
Yep.
Anyway, not that important, but
Well, Antasia is awake. She's on one of the tower. You can always go up and try and talk to her if you want. There's the Exiled in the middle of the court. that is still there, one knee down, both fists to the ground and looking down. There's Fisher on one tower. Fisher, for that first part of the night, you didn't see anything strange or odd. Terry confirms that there's been multiple attempts at trying to breach the walls in minor ways. Minor spell being thrown, minor explosive. Not something that really goes boom really hard, but just a flash of energy. One description makes you think that someone tried to use Misty Step to try to get in. Right after you heard a psh. So hopefully the person fried himself trying to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunate.
I probably would have asked this earlier, but is the barrier one way? Like, can we shoot out, or is it full?
The barrier doesn't create a dome. It's the walls of the fort that are being protected.
Okay.
But there is a protection against teleportation and things like this to get in. That covers the area, not just the walls themselves.
Okay. But there's nothing preventing me
No.
the...
And
yeah.
as far as you know, nothing's preventing someone from using a catapult to aim at you. It's just the wall that are reinforced magically, so they're not easily destroyed.
If I could ever pinpoint or get a vague idea of anybody in the fog after they try something, I'd throw a firebolt their way.
Terry can probably help you aim properly.
But yeah. Alright. But nothing seems to have succeeded.
Their effort, no. Your effort to annoy people, yes. You did see a few persons trying to do something, and then suddenly Terry just points in a direction, looks at you, and it sort of makes a weird combination that from afar might look like you have a arm cannon, because he's just on your arm, just pushing you in the right direction with with his mage hand. So it looks like you got a worm cannon on top of your arm, and that's just firing, but it's just the illusion of it.
Mm-hmm.
It does annoy people enough that Terry tells you that those who were trying something close to the tower you were decided to go away. And according to what he says, they didn't come back. So you might have managed to push away one attempt, at least one group trying to attempt something.
Mm-hmm.
But Terry does confirm that there are, because this is not magical darkness, it's just thick fog cloud, which doesn't hinder his vision. So he does confirm that there are more people arriving nearly every hour.
Just kind of all over.
All over. And as you move through the different towers during the night, he's going to confirm that they are trying to surround this place. This is as close as you can get to a full siege on a smaller scale.
Mm-hmm.
You get the impression, according to what Terry says, that there are easily right now at the beginning of the night, maybe at least between 50 and 80 people moving about inside of the fog cloud, going in, going out, rejoining with others. Your attempt does force some to retreat. And not be hindered by someone throwing things at them. Hopefully it's a good thing. That's probably Terranad who tells you that. Well, hopefully it's a good thing. And hopefully you didn't just tell them that they can throw things above the walls. Good job. I hope. But you're used to that kind of comments for
Yeah.
They probably don't want to risk smushing him under a giant rock if they're catapulting.
At any point, do I ever see anybody attempt to land either like a rope or a grappling hook or a ladder or anything on the wall? And is it like magically bounced off?
No one's trying anything major, but according to Terry, some are trying to move close to the walls, by taking a rock and just throwing it, seeing how it responds. The rocks are pushed back, not violently, but enough for you give confirmation that the walls themselves are warded, and so completely impervious to non-magical munition thrown at them. They haven't tried anything bigger than that. So you're not sure if it's by nature, if it's because they know just by doing that, or because they're afraid of trying to do more. Antasia does, at different moments of the night, resummon elemental defenders. So suddenly they see people manning the walls, and whoop, they retreat. But they've tried several times. Small rocks, just poking the wall with a spear. According to Terry, that guy got shocked so bad that you're not sure he survived. So hopefully that means that if they try a ladder, they're going to get shocked if they want to climb that ladder. But you can't be sure.
All right.
Anything else?
No, I think that'll be it.
All right. Does any of you want to go talk to either the Exiled or Antasia? If you say no, I'm going to go with the next group of people.
I spent like an hour and a half talking to him last week, so I think.
And Dreamy can't really start conversations.
Well, you can try, but
I finished out the dialogue. He doesn't have any more.
He doesn't have anything new.
I have to progress the quest before he gets new dialogue.
Okay. What about audience?
Audience just does the standard shift.
Okay. All right. So the night goes by. You keep hearing those little attempts Right now, it's mild. It's not too energetic. They haven't tried to lob powerful projectile or anything like this, but there are several attempts. If at any moment you decided to change tower and you decided to ask Fisher what Terry see, well, then you know what Fisher sees, what Fisher knows. If not, you are completely in the dark, and all you know from during the entire night is Steve, man, wake up! So, time moves forward. Remy goes to sleep. Audience goes to sleep. Isalna is woken up. Takes one of the tower. And Tasya changes tower again. Fisher, you change tower. And to have 4 people, Lagunak's gonna take a tower. Although he's gonna have a difficulty looking above the the crenellation. Yep, everything looks fine. Fisher, it's a long night, but fortunately you can rest and recover just by standing there and watching around. Because there's nothing very pressing, very intimidating happening outside. You sort of have that moment of walking, looking forward, and it's been a good, I don't know, I want to say a good hour. The sun is about to rise. You know that the night is about to be over. You let yourself being lulled by the outside. It's like listening to fire. A little crackling of fire. That's so reassuring. Unfortunately, your night, well, it's not interrupted as you all get your long rest. But you're all woken up in a very, very unsettling way as you hear a scream inside of the camp. It resonates everywhere, and you quite easily recognize the voice of Isalna screaming quite loudly.
A pervert has entered.
It's one of those elemental.
Audience would probably rush out with his weapon drawn, just in case like someone had gone in.
You rush out with your weapon drawn. Fisher, you stand close to the board of the tower you're on, looking inside of the court. You don't see anything very troubling. Audience, you run up to the crater so you can actually see better what's inside. Jorg and Remy?
I'll jump up to.
Okay. Jump down and outside, and you go to the crater to see what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Remy?
You know what? This is going to be weird, but I think Remy's actually going to observe his surroundings in the opposite direction.
So you go outside the tent and you go close to the wall?
It's like, well, Remy is playing the gambit of, because he's got like a few people already looking in that direction.
Okay.
He's hoping that it's not a diversionary tactic, so that while everybody's over in one area, others can get in through a different way.
Okay. So while they're doing this, you're mostly doing the rest of the court. You're doing a round around the inner court to see if someone else is trying something.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's put Remy here to symbolize that he's doing the court. Audience and Jorg as you arrive, and Fisher as you look down, you see Isalna on both knees. By the time you get there, Audience and Jorg, you see that there's something missing from what happened, but Fisher, you saw it all because you could react the moment you heard the scream. You weren't paying attention at that moment, but when you look down, you see Isalna kneeling in front of the Exiled, and the Exiled holding her face like this. And when she screams, it's like Azidra just appeared out of nowhere and tried to shove him out of the way, but the only thing it did is push one arm a few inch out of placement, and he just let her go completely. Audience and Jorg, you arrive as Azidra is asking Isalna, why would you try that? Isalna is definitely in distress. You see blood on the side of her face. You recognize it's coming from her ears. She looks exhausted, as if a wizard trying to cast a spell twice as powerful as they can take. And the only thing she says is, "Sweetie, are you still asking why? After all these years? Beside, it looked so easy when he did it." And she looks down next to her. Fisher, this is the moment where you realize, Terry? He's not there. Audience and Jorg, you can see Terry right next to Isalna. He just looks up.
Terry, what the fuck?
Terry's fine.
Uh-huh.
I'll kind of look. I'll kind of look at Azidra and just be like, what happened?
She is pissed, but trying to maintain that anger inside of her. There's that element of supreme respect that she has for Isalna. She tried to learn everything there was to learn. What else do you think she tried to do? Of course she would try it. Of course she would try and hear the entire story of why they're here. It's legend. It's the only thing that makes sense. And she turns around and starts walking away, screaming her answer. Because she couldn't help it. Of course. She needed to learn the entire story, even if it drove her insane. As if she's not doing that every day. She looks at Terry for a moment. Terry looks at her. She says, "You've got one nasty mind, little worm." You hear Azidra scream, "Of course! He's a worm from another dimension!"
Okay, well.
She goes to a wall.
Isalna, you gonna be alright?
I don't know if I'll ever be alright. This is not something you can expect. She takes a moment and she does something you probably didn't expect. She puts one hand on the shoulder of the exiled, and she gives him a huge hug. And she just says, "Yeah, now it's obvious. You can't help it. Thank you for sharing the entire story." She looks at you, audience, and Jorg and says, "Don't ever doubt of his sincerity to find redemption. It's impossible for him not to. It's that important." There is no sacrifice he won't make for that redemption. I know there's nothing I can say that'll make you believe it the way that you will if you try this. But I tell you.
Yeah, unlike you, I'm not an idiot. I'm not gonna try it.
She moves away, wobbly, goes to the tent, probably to lie down for a little while. And you're left on this crater with the exiled there, Terry looking at the exiled, and Fisher. I don't know. I'd imagine there's a mix of anger and pride toward what your kid just tried to do. He succeeded. Yay! Never do it again. I'll kill you if you do. Probably something like that.
Fisher, Terry's doing oddly powerful things again.
You're muted, I think.
Yeah.
Can you come get your kid?
Okay. Go watch the wall.
Okay.
Oh, come down.
It was very simple, audience, as he goes to the wall. Our job was to protect it. We were just supposed to be guardians. I don't know why everyone's trying to do all this crazy stuff. Oh my god. Getting themselves killed out here. I'm supposed
I mean, if a dragon landed here and we were protecting it and it could tell you the secrets of the universe.
But Fisher, I'm supposed to be the stupid one, not everybody else. That's my job.
Well, yeah, no, but see, the problem with wizards and arcane magic users is we're really smart. We're not very wise.
Well, I don't even know what Yasada is. I think she's like an archer. Apparently they're not very wise either.
As best as you can tell, she's most likely mostly ranger and maybe 1 or 2 level of rogue. And Zedra is completely rogue.
Yeah.
People who like to learn.
You know who likes to learn? I'll point on Tassi. You don't see her trying to like talk to the thing. Or
Oh, she wants to. Real bad. She just probably
she's intelligent.
knows more about what actually happens when you try that.
Well, Yasana's alive at least, so we'll take that.
Yeah.
I don't know how helpful she'll be in combat though today. She did not look in good shape.
I gotta go check on my kid.
George, you're the healer. Go check how she's doing.
Yeah, I'll go check on her.
Also, as I'm walking down, I'll be like, Terraned, did you notice when he left?
Of course, I'm not here to watch your son, though. I'm here to watch you.
Do both. And as it's the morning, I'm switching him from helping me with Arcana checks to perception checks.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I'll head down and see what's up.
All right.
How's she
George.
looking?
Well, she looks like something really large just ran over her and left her behind. She's on lower bunk. She looks like she's slightly in pain. She's rubbing the blood off of her nose and her ears. Can I do something for you, Jordan?
I'm here to do something for you. Do you need healing?
I guess my mind would probably like it. I don't know what causes bleeding exactly, but if the brain can bleed, I'm probably sure it does right now.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not good.
I don't know what kind of healing I can do for your mind. Your ears bleeding. I can hopefully remedy.
I believe she took psychic damage
Yeah.
and will be healed with hit points.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not a doctor. She probably doesn't have a seizure. It just feels like her brain is melting right now. That's all.
How does she look? So she looks pretty injured.
She looks tired. Her mind is a little bit wandering. She's having a little bit of trouble concentrating, meaning that she took a massive dose of psychic damage.
Mm-hmm. I'll use Cure Wounds on her at level 4.
All right. Roll the.
For a total of 36
All right.
HP.
All right.
For the future, I think stick to learning things organically. We can learn all we need to learn from the world around us.
But that's just it. Our language is not complex enough to understand everything they have to say. If you want to have the full story, you have to hear it directly from them.
Maybe it's not a story
know
for
of-
mortal.
I know of their legend. They have been to other worlds. I've just never met one in person. I had to know. Where do they come from? Why are they exiled? And why does everyone say that you should not doubt their honesty in getting that redemption? That they will sacrifice themselves without a second thought for that redemption. It's a story you can only hear if you try this, if you let them make that connection.
Do you have the answers you were looking for?
Yes. I've been able to understand the entire story. It was difficult. They come from such a beautiful place.
Well, I'm glad you got something out of it at least.
Oh, don't worry, sweetie. I have lived through a lot. It's not my first headache of the kind.
Mm-hmm. Well, now I want to know.
Well, you have to have a strong mind. Either the raw intellect to understand it, or the willpower to get through it all. In D&D term, it's going to be intelligence saving throw or wisdom saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, I have the.
There's more than one chapter to the story. If you want to hear it all, you're gonna have to do this more than once.
I see. I don't know. I believe there's enough to know in our world. I don't need another one to have to learn too.
But aren't you a little curious?
Of course, I'm a little curious.
Knowing why. Knowing if you can rely on them.
I feel like that's something we can learn once he's at full strength and no longer needs defending from a much larger group of people.
So you follow Jorg to the tent?
Yeah. I see Jorg being swayed. Tempted.
But that's it. I'm not sure how long he will stay once this is done. Did you see how many people there are outside? And there are preparing for this. He will most likely have to leave the moment he can.
Mm-hmm.
This could be a unique moment in your life. To understand so much more.
Uh-huh. About
them. Why, where they came from, why they're here, and why they are so determined to get that redemption.
sounds like a great story. I need my mind for the next few days at the very least.
Well, it is your life, and it is really up to you to figure out if you want to try this. But he may not stay for much longer than he needs to, so you're gonna have to weigh the possibility that if you do it now, you will be hindered for a while. But if you wait until the end, you may not have a lot of time to ask him questions or to do anything with him. So you have to decide for yourself, weigh which one is the path that you want to take. If you want to know the story, maybe you won't get to ask him any questions. If you ask him many questions, maybe you won't have time to know the full story. But if you do this now, while they hesitate, and she looks out toward the entrance to the tent, well, your mind may be injured, but we have Jorg to heal us, and Onek.
I lean over. Targ help. She's making some pretty good points.
Yeah, I know. What?
All right, but did you learn anything about like our world? I get the draw of secrets of the universe. But I'm not going to risk my brain for curiosity.
Well, I did
I
talk
suppose
to him a little bit.
actionable stuff.
I did talk to him a little bit before this. What do you want to know about our world? Well, your world, because I come from another one. I'm just visiting.
Yeah.
Everything that they say is exactly as it is from their point of view. Something shattered. The fabric of the universe bursted into pieces. And now shards of it are just floating and catching the light of wherever everything comes from. And we're living on little dots of light.
My computer froze, but I'm back.
I was almost sure that that you didn't stop your sentence midway, but
So, Fisher,
Yeah.
what would you want to know if you could?
Oh. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't. That's the problem when you're trying to think about questions that are like so far out there, so you don't
Mm-hmm.
know what you want to ask because you don't know what's even there.
Yeah, my
But I mean, I just want to learn about our world and the god that is trying to break into it. And how we
yeah, that's
stop it, because that's the only thing. That's an insane enough goal as it is for us to be aiming at.
mm-hmm.
And it seems
Yeah.
like the stuff these guys are dealing with is just beyond that. And that's cool. Great for them. Happy to have them here. Help how I can. And then let the stronger stuff deal with the bigger problems.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go talk to Terry and see what he figured out.
That's a good idea. I'll wait for Terry's report to commit to anything.
You can come with me.
I'll come with you.
Oh, wow. What can Terry tell you?
Does Terry need healing?
Yeah, I start off with very much the just, are you okay?
He tells you, well, that last bit of knowledge was kind of hard to digest, but yeah, I think it's because part of the information doesn't mean anything to me. All of those, I don't know, I think you call them images, colors, but the feeling and the knowledge, that I can actually understand.
Mm-hmm.
So, for your information, is a saving throw or the reason why for him it wasn't all that bad? Where he is? Where is he? Where is he? There he is.
If I remember correctly, his mental stats are pretty great.
Oh yeah. 29. Yeah, that's it. 29, 25, and the last one was a natural 20.
That's
I see. Yeah, so he's doing good.
You learned anything interesting?
They come from a very special place. It has everything. It's a mix of knowledge, of the beginning and the end being right there above you. It's literally something they can walk to. For them, it's not time. It's just the left side of the box and the right side of the box, and that's it. It's there. If they want to live in the light, then they live on the left side of the box. And if they want to live in the dark, they live in the left side of the box. You know that when he says box, he means world. So that's
Yeah. that is his world. Huh.
And if they want to know what one side is after living on the other, they just have to walk there. And everything is cyclical. Just like the trees and the grass, and lives come after death, and after death comes life, and it's just a huge cycle. And it's all there. When you're on one side of where they come from, it's the beginning of things. It's birth. It's dawn. It's full of energy. And then you walk to the other side, and in the middle there is life, and there is knowledge, and there is experience. And when you get to the end, it is dusk. It is the end. It is where the energy goes and fades away, and it is just recycled. That is where they come from. And then there was a crisis. Something so bad, something so powerful and horrible, it shattered what they call the fabric of reality. I think they call it the fabric because they're made of fabric. It's sort of their way of explaining it in words that fits.
Mm-hmm.
And their world, and every world, was in danger. But there was a way around it. But it was such a horrible thing to do. Like innocence. Not your innocence or someone else's innocence, but innocence itself. Having to be sacrificed. I have no words to express it properly, and that is the problem. I probably never will be able to explain it properly unless you go through it. But that is the best I can do to explain it. It is beauty, it is innocence, it is like what you call a god. And they hate themselves for having thought about it. And they hate themselves for having done it. But some of them survived doing it, and because they didn't do it because they were afraid, because they did it for everyone, for the what was left to keep on going. They were given a chance to be able to look at themselves again one day and stop hating what they see because of what they did. And so they are sent here. And they fall on our world. Our box. Sorry. They fall on our box, screaming, going through a layer of protection around the box itself that burns them nearly completely. And then they have to reattune themselves to this new reality and then find their redemption. Right now, he hates himself so much that he doesn't understand why he was allowed to live. But he was allowed to live, and for that possibility, he will sacrifice himself and his very soul, not just what you think of a soul, but his very continued existence, the immortal part of everything. He will sacrifice it for his redemption.
Good to know. in the future, can you let me know before you do something like that?
Why?
Because it was dangerous.
Okay. And the way he says it, you heard it so often in the streets by kids just saying, okay. Which sort of reminds you that no matter how wise and how intelligent he seems, he is even younger than you.
Yeah. You're okay though?
Yeah. My spit tastes funny, but that's all.
Because you are very strong, but you are still quite small.
I think it's that you're all too big.
That's fair.
Maybe that's the
Gotta
problem.
make sure
You're
you
too
don't get
big.
squashed.
He,
World of Giants.
wait, I don't know what they're saying, do I? Because they're speaking in symbols.
No, actually, no, you don't understand it because the only two who
It's
Remy
just-
has learned the language, and yeah, exactly. And Tobiyashi has a mask and slightly knows the language. So for you, it's just, well, no, even Fisher, he needs to use magic. So
Fisher, so is he injured?
I think he's okay.
from
Okay,
from
if
the
he-
description that he gave you, you think that he probably the equivalent of bit his tongue.
Yeah.
If he was hurt, would like a cure wounds be way more health than he needs, or would I don't know how much to heal him.
If he was truly hurt,
I don't know how to ask how many hit points he has without.
He doesn't have a lot of hit points.
less than 30.
Well, he went up a level.
Okay, is it still? Is it over 30 now?
He was over 30. He was 37. Now he's 41.
Oh, okay.
That's more than I expected.
Well, he's a 13 level sorcerer. Come on. With a really bad constitution, but
Yeah.
that's because of his size.
I will resist the temptation and not.
The only way you will ever be able to talk. The only way you will ever be able to talk with your son on the same level about this experience is if you go through it.
It's okay.
Should have gone in with you. Should have waited.
The
for
dream
you.
of every parent for their children to surpass them. Most don't
It's
do
the
it
dream
so
of every
bad.
parent to have to smoke weed together.
I'll try mushrooms at some point, and then
Oh, I got
That
you.
Jor can help you.
Opens my component pouch.
I got a blue mushroom. I got a green mushroom. I got a red one also. although the green one with white dots give you an extra life.
Well, the one that makes you really big.
Yeah, that makes you big. The green one gives you more life. So eat this.
Depending
Like a
on
preemptive reveal.
depending on how your television, the color on your TV is balanced. It's either the red one with dots or the orange one with dots. All right. So, nasty morning. Remy, you figured out that, all right, enemy haven't gotten through the defenses. What would you have done during all of that? You could have gotten part of that conversation if you wanted. Probably the last part where Terry talks a lot, because that was the very last moment, and you would have had time to go around the entire court.
Well, I guess the question is, like, did we officially go into a new day?
Yes.
Well, I guess once Remy realized there were no breaches, you know what? Just stacking more webs, honestly. New day, new webs.
Let's do more traps, because we're going to need them. All right?
Like, by the time that Remy is done, it's like, this place is going to be so sticky.
It's going to be like going into a gym at the end of the day. All right. Well, good talk. Good talk. Do you want to go on a break?
Probably for the best.
All right. We'll go on a break, and then the rest of the day. Hold on. Here it is. All right. Let's go with Marsh. I really gotta do another one so we have more to hear than just Marsh or. All right. See you in 15 minutes. Bye.
Bye.
Good. All right. We came back just in time. All right. So. After that conversation with Iselna, Remy, you went outside and tried to make more traps right near where the walls are. You found that one of your traps got triggered during the night. Someone got exploded with sticky stuff. Probably as you are moving about and trying to stealthily place your sticky bombs. At one point, you're setting up one of those bombs, trying to hide it a little bit so it's not too obvious, and you can swear you're hearing maybe 12 steps away from where you are. Of course, she absolutely had to do it. Of course you can understand that. You're dead. And then she disappears again in the mists.
You'll get through this. Maybe.
Well, because of your special insight into their relationship, I think you can probably guess, as Remy, yeah, it would probably mean something different for her if something bad happened. And it explains why she's so pissed. But other than having to step in a puddle of blood at one point, you don't find... No one else seems to be trying to push the walls. Right now, it's... Yeah, we don't need marsh sounds. It's eerily quiet. So after putting your bombs, you go back inside. And maybe it's been 2 or 3 hours since you all got woken up so poorly, and you had time to set up more bombs and those on the walls have had time to make a rotation. Arunak walked next to audience at one point and, "You look upset. What happened?"
Oh, just people being stupid.
"Yeah. Now you see the world through my point of view. You know, they just keep talking about brains, 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 brains. I don't have any brains. I'm fine."
Yeah. I mean, you're a different species, though. I assume you have something that creates thoughts. I just don't know what it is because I'm not a druid or a studier of nature.
Well, I'm guessing it's probably something similar to Fisher because he's got wood in his mind.
Yeah, probably.
Technically, you know that Fisher also doesn't have a brain.
I have thought about that. But zombies still seem to like him, so he has something.
I think it's life. I think a lot of people think they're attracted to brain because they keep trying to eat the head, but I think it's just life.
They seek out light. That's why us paladins try and, we don't like them very much, and they don't like us.
It's kind of that,
Light.
Yeah, you know those reverse poles things.
Yeah.
I think you're positive and they're negative.
Yeah. I mean, I know Fisher's some kind of light in him because of all the stuff I've learned about his species and what they could be or not be, but I mean, they definitely have souls. Or whatever consists of, I don't know.
Yeah.
This is just theory crafting.
Hey, we've seen weird stuff. Him having a soul doesn't seem all that weird.
No.
And, if he didn't have a soul, then we could bring him back whenever he wants if he dies, and no matter how long it's been. But there's a danger. So that means he has a soul that could decide not to come back.
Well, I've seen him die and be revived multiple times, so something's there.
Yep.
One of the first things I ever saw actually after meeting him was him dying repeatedly.
Is that being revived, or was time just?
Yeah,
yes, but there could have been an argument that with time, because the soul, if it's separate from time, could have decided not to come back with the reversal of time.
Mm-hmm. Yes, an argument can be made for that.
But this is like deep philosophical, like of time and
Look.
soul and separation of.
Look, it's all wibbly wobbly. All of it is wibbly wobbly,
Yeah.
timey wimey stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Just remember, don't blink. Fisher's good with that. All right, well, just stay focused and you'll get through it. And he'll get through it.
Yeah. Well, they're finished, probably, or close to finished testing our barriers, so we'll see if they send in a slightly larger assault today or not.
Yeah,
Towards
it's
the end of
really
the
been
day.
quiet for the past maybe 10 or 20 minutes.
Too quiet. No.
And is it me or is the fog seems to be lifting a little?
I'll look. Is the fog lifting?
From your point of view, you'd say that it's not lifting, it's parting. As if someone wanted to part two spells of fogs, just enough so that you might start seeing what's outside and frighten you and probably close it back. Because the fog isn't dispelling, it just seems to be moving.
Well, we'll see what happens. It might be parting. It's hard to tell.
Maybe it's the mist. There's gonna be spooky monsters in it.
So you'd like
Maybe.
that. I have a list of monsters for this, but I can't always be convinced to change.
We could always borrow M. Night Shyamalan's fog. Super scary, guys.
Yeah, what are they called again in the monster manual? The Fallen Stars or something like this?
Oh, that much I don't know.
It's in one of those the extra books. Volo's Guide to Monster, maybe. I'm just gonna look at the. Hey, we've got cows in that book. Okay. I'm not gonna spend a huge amount of time looking for this. Storm Swarm. War Priest. Okay. I'm gonna, because it's not relevant, I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time looking for those. Yeah. Oh, maybe it's Mordenkainen Tome of Foes. Star Spawns. I could be convinced to throw that at you.
I know.
I think we're okay.
You sure?
Yeah, I think we're okay.
What's their...
But aren't they like super rad looking?
159. 50, 60. And that's not the monster. Alright, I'm not going to lose any more time on this.
I mean, if a space star does come flying through the sky, I know they're not actually in the shapes of stars. It's like maybe we'll have the chance to meet the Justice League or the Teen Titans.
All right.
Or the IJLSA.
Guardian of the Galaxy. All right, so Remy, you come inside. Zedra seems to be focusing on a few things inside of her hands. She's just seems to be looking at something, different things. Some seems to be made of cloth. Some seems to be hard pieces. As you enter, she looks at you for a brief moment, and I guess you're probably one that would know a bit better about those things because you were born here. Here. And she hands you a handful of torn cloth and insignias. Most of them have blood on it. It only takes you a few moments to recognize that there are a whole bunch of guild emblems, standard pieces, and things like this that can help you figure out who might be out there.
Maybe you'll start piecing that together and start ordering them from most dangerous to least dangerous.
Well, most dangerous. Interesting one to say. I'd say.
I bet you that's something he's been asked to do once before.
Probably. Dangerous ones. You recognize a cult emblem that's been skulking around on several island chain. A face-shaped world screaming in agony. It's an anarchist cult. They just want to mess up the world and make it all scream in agony.
Well, that explains why they're here.
This one, you're not sure. They may be dangerous, but it really depends on why they're here. You recognize the standard of a magic tower. You recognize the letters on it because it spells out CAP, C-A-P. But you know that it's the Coalition of Arcane Practitioner. The problem is that you don't know why they're here. It could be a good thing, but it could be a really bad thing.
That's a straight up cap.
Yeah. That's in bold letters, C-A-P. It's just that you know that, it's the Coalition of Arcane Practitioners. Yeah. 50-50. Well, 30-30-30. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be neutral. But if it's good, it's really good. If it's bad, it's really bad. And if they're neutral, they're just going to watch everyone burn.
At least they're not the capitalists.
Isn't Antasia like part of that group, or is she part of a different wizard group?
She's part of Theodrin's magic school.
Oh, okay. So she's part of a different.
Yeah.
Audience can't keep track. He doesn't care.
Well, Theodrin's magic school is not a name that audience have heard. It's a name that one of our players who isn't here anymore has heard.
Eyes would actually look over at Tasia, seeing that emblem. He'd be like, "You're not part of that coalition, right? Or are you? I don't know."
No. They're a bunch of jerks.
Okay. Got it. Audience will make a note. Bunch of jerks. And wizards. Kill on sight. Okay.
And so audience continues to find reasons to not like wizards.
You recognize a priestly emblem. It's a book with drawing of a tree and its root system. It's the elven god of knowledge. They're probably benign. I'm not sure they'll actually help you if you ask for help, but at least they're not gonna try and kill you all.
They're just vibing.
There's another priestly emblem. This one might be more dangerous. It really depends on the intention of those who are there. It's a hammer bursting from the ground. It's a dwarven god of war.
Now these guys are here for vibes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What's
They're
that?
there to.
Whoever offers them the better drink can get them on their side. If only they'd come over to talk. I got some good stuff for them.
One you feel is a bad one, but fortunately they're not large. It's a wolf with two scimitars in its hands. It's a raiding, a raider's insignia. They usually keep to small villages, but loot like that, really tempting.
Small fry.
One that you'd be more worried about, Remy. It's a dagger piercing a hand. You recognize it because it's a crime syndicate. Rather large, and they have tentacles on several island chain. They can muster a lot of resources. You're just not confident that right now they might have a lot, because they're usually not the kind of group that will react on a dime. So right now their presence may just be there to hold a place when all of this ends up happening, which means that for them you're going to get more worried the more the time passes. Another one that you don't like, it's a hand with a dagger for fingers. With daggers for fingers. They're coercion specialists. You want to win over that noble over there? Of course we can make sure that he thinks about his daughters during the negotiation. That kind of specialists. They know everyone who can be leveraged into anything. And they are usually not shy of torturing and killing someone.
They're just real upstanding citizens.
Yeah.
Real upstanding guys.
And one that you've identified before, so it's a confirmation that they're really there. A house with lit windows. It's a thieving guild. They usually keep to stealing from nobles in cities, but that thing in the middle of that camp is... There's a good chance that if you shred it into pieces, every inch of that cloth can probably be sold to a variety of wizards for a really good price. And those are what the emblems that she gives you. It means that each one of them had at least one representative at one point close to the wall. Because you did step into a puddle of blood at one point. And they almost all have some sort of bloody stain on them. So she didn't take them asking?
None of the typical culprits, at least, that we see right now.
No druids either, interestingly.
Well, not at all the parties might have revealed themselves. We do know the hunter
True.
cult was here. We just don't see them among the
Yeah.
banners right now.
Hmm.
That's because they're all underground.
Oh shit!
Come on!
We
I
do
told you
know
not to
they
say-
we do know they like making tunnels, but I assume the fortress
Yeah.
also has preventative measures against tunnels.
I hope so.
And they're coming from the sky.
We know it has preventive measures against sky.
Yeah, Fisher's snowy snowy owl.
Frigate Air Force.
Yeah. Well, I don't see my religion either, so.
Could be a good thing. Could be a bad thing.
That's good.
But you have confirmation that a lot of these guilds can muster with enough time a lot of places, and wizards are involved now. So there is that possibility of summoning creature to the fray.
Well,
Did you share those emblems with anyone, Remy? Just audience?
Oh yeah,
Because it's audience?
after he's ordered them from relative like a relative level of danger. It's like he does maybe not everybody all at once because still need to keep eyes, but maybe one, possibly two at a time. Bring them over.
Okay. All right. So you all have confirmation of who's there. Well, more.
It's like on one side, the most dangerous side, he's gonna say "uh-oh," and then on the least dangerous side, it's like, eh.
So a little bit more time passes, and you're all looking outside, wondering what's going to be next. The fog seems to be swirling. You're not sure if someone's doing this intentionally or just to mess with your mind. But it just keeps moving like this. And then out of nowhere, who's on the wall? Everyone? Are there some people at the center in the court?
most of us, I think, are on the wall.
Who's on the wall?
I'm on the wall.
I'm on the wall.
I've got my dog on the wall too.
All right, so Remy, are you on the wall?
I guess I'm just wondering, like, besides the wall, like, where specific, like, would there have been any other places of note to keep an eye out for things, or are we at like different corners of the wall? Well, that's kind of a silly question because was this wall circular or square?
Square. There are towers on each corner.
I'm in a tower, or an X in a tower.
Yeah, that was during the night.
I think Fisher and Jorg are not where they are on the map. But
oh, there you go.
It'd probably help if I had the tab open for Twitch.
So Fisher is near the gate. Jorg is on the northern wall. Audience, lower right corner tower. Arunak, lower left tower. Zedra.
I'll be honest, audience is wherever all the armies were lined up. I would have gone to wherever that was. I don't know wherever that is.
Well,
but,
right
like, the
now
main gate.
the fog is preventing you from seeing very far, but all right, all right. You're moving about, trying to find the best angle, not staying always in the same tower.
I would have asked Terry or Fisher to have Terry see where these emblems were gathering, if they're all gathered in one place or spread out around the fort.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I'll have him do the best he can.
All right.
He's not great at being
Can't
flat.
tell you which the emblems are, but he can tell you where there's the most people.
Yeah.
All right. Takes a moment, and of course you draw the attention of Antasia as you're moving about from wall to wall and putting Terry in front like a flashlight and letting him tell you what's there. She'd like to know what you're trying to do.
Oh, just figure out where the most people are gathered, if they're spreading out around the fort or if they're all gathering at like one point.
She looks at Terry for a brief moment. Terry looks at her. She looks at Terry again. She looks at all of you. Hmm. Terry tells... What?
Terry can see through the fog.
Well, that's what she gathered from her moment peering into his mind.
Yeah.
His super intelligent brain. Earthworm Jim reference.
Except like one of those brains thinks about flowers.
You see, we can just do a transitive properties. You see, Terry can now tell her the story that the Exiled told him, but it will be less confusing and maybe it'll make her less insane. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, you won't understand the weight of everything, but you'll get, sort of the transcript.
Yeah.
But she glimpses at surface thought of Terry, and she looks at him for a brief moment, and you just see her make a hand gesture, and Fisher, she tells you, point Terry in a direction.
A direction?
A direction. It means outside, toward everyone's there.
Point him straight out from the wall.
She puts her hands in front of her, just like this, and she widens it. And you see everything in front of her hand just zoom in. And Terry has a moment of...
Enhance.
Well, it's one of her cantrip. It's the equivalent of a magnifying glass or spyglass. She just... And it zooms in. She's not a fighter, but she's an adventurer. She has Varda that she goes everywhere with. So... makes sense for someone who has divination to have a spyglass.
Yeah, where's her stone boy at? I haven't even asked her where stone boy's at.
Oh, he's just moving about. You probably last saw him in front of the armory.
That's okay. We have a tree boy. She has a stone boy. It's all
You have a tree boy and a worm boy and and a real boy. You get a better idea by using this little combination of her cantrip and Terry looking out, who has a passive perception of 23. And a bonus of plus 13 when he rolls perception.
not bad.
He sees things. Real things. Alright. Okay. Through Terry's, you get the impression that the northern wall might be hit the hardest for now as people are gathering. So, audience will go there. For a brief moment, Terry is with audience, and so is Antasia, and, well, Fisher, because he's helping aim Terry. Salna would have gone back to at least the tower. So, as you're evaluating, and according to Terry, there are 7 groups in total right now toward the northern wall, which goes beyond what Remy has brought back, meaning that more than one of those people are being either very careful or were not there in the morning. But as you're evaluating this, an audience just decide that, all right, this is the place that I want to be in. This is where it's gonna hurt the most. Well, then it's gonna be audience, Fisher, and Antasia. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw.
Hey. Rude.
Cool. You do
Never
get
mind.
your plus. You do get your +3 from me. Don't forget.
Nat
Everyone
20.
gets their +3 from me.
Hit the big stupid one with the big mouth.
As you're choosing this, so audience, what did you roll?
I rolled. If my dice. Oh, I also rolled a nat 20.
Damn.
Well, you really saw this coming. Yeah. Oh, that's where there's the most people. Hey, look, an object is being hurled at us. You just all jump to the side as this, what looks like a satchel filled with something, just rises up in the air and fall toward you. You all jump and it explodes. Just leaving a scorch mark on the wall itself and where you were. You managed to just jump off, especially you, audience. You know, you got a new ability. If you want to use it, you completely shrug off that.
Yes, I would use my new ability.
And for Fisher, you were able to dodge dexterity save, but it's a save, so it's not... Which means it's...
Oops.
13 points of thunderous damage. It's an explosion. We're gonna go
Actually,
with
I'm also gonna use, because audience sees an opportunity. I'm also gonna use the other part of my ability and like put myself between Antasia and the explosion. So I'll take 7, but wings will unfurl from my back, completely shielding her from harm.
So you didn't know he could do that. He sees the bag going up. And, you know, it's an actual 20. He has so much time in his reaction that he managed to push open his wings, great wings, and then just wraps them around her. And the explosion just covers everything.
Was the 13 already halved?
Yes, that was the halved.
Okay.
But if I'm not mistaken, audience, it does mean that you take damage if you shield someone else.
I do, yes.
So 13 to you as well. Thunderous damage, but I think thunder is your resistance also.
Lightning,
alright.
One goes
And-
boom boom, one goes zoom zoom.
Listen, I'd rather I take the 13 damage than the wizard who is holding up their divination wizard.
And
Also, I
Fisher,
don't
I
know if
would
she passed her save or not.
Fisher, I would imagine you use your reaction to shield Derry.
Yes.
Okay.
Look at us both being good tanks.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it draws everyone's attention. There's Jorg looks in the right direction. Remy, you see the explosion, just the fog of the explosion disappearing, and you see audience with a girl in his hands. Yeah, of course.
It's a very. It could be actually painted as a mural. Just wings unfurled, explosion in the background, shielding her, light shining off his golden scales and wings.
He's choosing to focus on that.
Crack of light shifting through the now broken fog directly. No, I'm kidding.
No, but of course, you have your arms wrapped around her shoulders, just to protect her.
Yeah.
Jorg can also make a dexterity save.
Oh. Okay, I'll do it with my mouse.
I'm sorry, Jorg. I wish I could wrap you up too.
Yeah, I wish you could too. I rolled a 4.
Ooh.
Not in that one. A 2. Still not good.
Well, if you have absorb elements, it's thunder damage, so you could always
Okay,
reduce
well,
it
I
like
do have
that.
that.
22 thunder damage as this little package is just thrown on top of the wall, and it didn't see it coming. Several packages like this are being thrown on walls at different positions. Because Remy is in the court right now, he doesn't need to make a saving throw, and because Arunak, Isalna, and Azidra are in towers, it's too high for someone to throw the packs as high as them, so they don't have to make saving throws. But several packages are being flung up right to the edge, and they explode.
Of course. I was too busy looking at you guys after your big thing.
You were too impressed with audience's wing, and you didn't see the package appearing right behind you, going.
Yep. Ow. Well, anyways, I wanted to get off the wall so I could.
So Remy,
mess
you
with
have
the
two
terrain.
beautiful sight. You have audience with wings now. Beautiful wings that can probably help him fly. And you have Jorg getting bombed.
It's the best.
It must be Raimi's birthday.
Well, if it was, he wouldn't be holding a girl in his hand, audience. But, you decided
Yeah, I guess
not
it
to
would be
focus on
Raimi that's being held, but
that.
maybe it's Christmas instead of his birthday.
You're watching this, and you just raise your hand, and you make a minor illusion of yourself, and you just slide it over her as you're watching the scene. The attack is repeated several times. Several portion of the walls are being tested like this. You can always stay on the wall, or you can easily move away if you want to play dodge with someone throwing backpack full of explosive, or you can just try and go to one tower close by and wait until that finishes. Both can have consequences. If you abandon the walls, They might see it. If you don't abandon the walls, you get to make more saving throws.
Can audience fly up a little bit and try and, when the backpacks are tossed up towards them, throw them back down on the people throwing them as a reaction?
As a reaction,
catch.
I'd let you make a dexterity.
Would that be
Save.
athletics, acrobatic? Save?
Yeah, it's just I'm trying to think about this. If someone's being thrown, if they're throwing it,
I basically, because it's a backpack, what you said, I basically just tried to catch the backpack since I can fly and throw it back down on them. Before it.
We have something similar, an ability that the ability of the monk to catch something. What?
That's deflect. I mean, there's deflect missiles. I don't.
Yeah, no, I know, but I just mean that it's a base that I can use to decide how that can work.
It's based on level plus their dexterity.
Level plus their dexterity.
Okay.
I think there's like a D10 involved. A D10 plus their level plus dexterity.
Yeah,
I think
and it's when they
that's
hit with an attack, and if they reduce it to 0, they can throw it back.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Which technically, if I succeed my saving throw, I would be taking 0 damage. I don't know if that matters.
Right.
I'm also was more thinking that it's not like an arrow, which I don't have the monk ability to deflect. It's like a backpack, which probably moves a lot slower.
Okay. Okay. I think I know how to model that. It's going to be a saving throw, and we're going to use the element of your ability that if you save because of the shielding ability of your wings, instead of just blocking them, it's catching and throwing it back. So if you succeed, you can catch it. If you fail, it blows up right in front of you.
Yeah. All right. Audience is going to stay on the wall then and start making these grenades hurt back on the way down as well. Or attempt to.
All right.
So.
First one.
That's what audience. First one? Okay. That is and I'm also adding +2, so that's a 27. To that as well.
A saving throw? Wow.
Yeah.
You catch it. You catch it and you manage to throw it back before it explodes, and you see the inside of the mist, the cloud suddenly turned an orange color. You can try it again. They're trying on every wall, so even more if you have your wings out, which gives you, I think it's 60 movement.
60, yeah.
So you can
audience
easily
is just going to keep throwing
flying
it back down on them until it deters them. So I'll basically be flying around the walls trying to catch different backpacks and throw them
in
back.
that case, each time you do that, I'm gonna roll for their resolve to try this, and if they fail, they're gonna leave.
Yeah.
All right.
So how many do you want to? I could do a general.
Just do another one.
Okay. Plus 12, 25.
25, you catch it, which means it lowers their resolve.
I'm blowing people up.
But it's not enough to stop them. You can try it again.
Okay. All right. 28.
You catch it. You remember that a save that is above 20 is superhuman level. You're just flying and just...
Audience has really good saves.
Oh, they almost failed, but not. Okay, you get to try it again.
Good. Audience will actually laugh as he does it. Good. I hope you enjoy the pain. That's a 31.
Jeez Louise. Alright. They rolled pretty well on that one. So far, you still haven't taken any damage from those backpack being logged out of the wall.
Nope. I'm
All
just
right.
killing people.
Hopefully.
Hopefully killing people. I know I'm doing damage. I don't know if I'm killing
Yes,
people.
they explode as they go back down.
Yeah. Again?
Yeah, go.
Alright. 28 again.
Okay, they barely succeed. Go ahead.
Okay.
Once more.
Oh, that one's lower. It's only a 20.
It's only a 20. Alright, so just so that you know, you needed 16 to succeed. On each one of them, they have failed this resolve save. So after that 6th bomb that you just catch and throw back, and a few that were too far away to actually catch, they stop throwing it. All I want to know is, Jorg and Fisher, did you try and go for shelter, or did you stay on the walls?
I got off the wall.
Alright, so Jorg went inside of that tower, and Fisher?
I think I went to the tower.
You think you went into the tower.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I went to the tower. My deck saves are not my strong suit.
If they do stop, the audience would kind of shout out to, I don't know if people can hear me, but I assume they can, because I'm on the, well, he'll be like, oh, you guys stopped wanting to play catch, but I was having so much fun.
Alright. After that taunt, you hear a long silence. You hear a few people moaning as they're leaving the side of the wall. So you don't know if you killed anyone, but you know you injured people.
And like, fuck you! That was my favorite robe.
Probably more than their favorite robe if it was doing 22 points of thunder damage.
Like I said, when you go above level 5, you're starting to reach very exceptional people. So all of these guilds, they might have a handful of people above level 5 and maybe 1 or 2 above level 10, but everyone else is going to be level 5 and under. So anyone that feels like a soldier or guard, you know, the warlord that's there right now, if he sent soldiers, yeah, when the backpack went back down and you hit something, they got blown up.
Yeah, it's a real shame that all the rogues out there didn't have evasion.
Oh, that was...
It worked.
Someone tries
Or
to
even
throw
worse,
a
they are
rock.
7th level, but they took 1 level in fighter.
Yep. Tragic.
Someone tries to throw a rock at you, audience, after all those taunts, and, you know, it's just a rock. Even if it hits, it doesn't really hit you bad.
Throws the rock back.
I rolled a 16. No, it's I rolled an 18, so I passed. Audience will just catch the rock and just laugh.
And then the field goes quiet again. That was their first attempt at probing your defenses. Well, audience certainly made an an impact. Good show.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Antasia tells you something that's similar to that, but she's a mage, so she's a bit more eloquent in the way she says it. When you land back, she just looks at you for a brief moment and says, "Well, that was dramatic. Didn't know you could do that."
Audience will just shrug and be like, against these type, and kind of say to hers, but in a quieter voice, I guess everyone's by the way, I'll just kind of be like, against these types, he'll pull it out. It's better to make a strong show of force early. The weaker ones will see this and not wish to continue.
Well, I want to say that you're wrong, but you're usually right on those things. The weak-minded are easily impressed. Well, now, what's going to be their next try?
We'll have to see.
Could you see anything above the fog cloud while you were flying?
With a perception roll of 5, probably not.
You weren't flying high enough. You know, there was still a little bit of fog over you.
Remy, hearing this, holds up a talon,
Yes, Remy?
spreads his own wings.
My turn.
For some
flies
reason,
into
says
the-
"fuck you, Jorg," as he flies.
The first words he's ever spoken with his own mind.
No, you probably hear it from with a very gruff voice saying, "Fuck you!"
Actually, maybe to be slightly more insulting, he probably has heard somebody say, "Fuck you, George."
Oh.
Gets as close as possible.
Flies up into the air and activates the mist cowl. Now he can see through fog for 10 minutes.
Oh, goodness. All right. Make that perception roll. Let's see what you see.
I'll pull out the spyglass too. You know,
Just
get a good
sure.
view of what they're trying to hide in there. That is going to be a 29.
29. That's pretty good. Well, you have confirmation that Terry was right. The greatest group is in front of the northern wall. But you get an idea of everything around as you just fly for a brief moment and then notice that a lot of people are staring at you and some people are starting to cast as you go up, so you go down. You know, you just did that. Oop. Oh. Ooh. Like
Probably
those,
thought he was audience.
like those birds that just jump above the tall grass line, you know. Doom. There are a lot of people all around this place. It's stupid. There were standard everywhere being raised. Small camps that were forming. You were able to count with a 29. You were able to count what you think is 24 different groups.
It's a lot.
You were able to identify a lot more. because you have such a good perception roll and a good image memory. I was trying to say something else, but it didn't want to come out. The larger standard were easy to identify. Raiders, there were 2 of them that you can identify to raiders. The wolf with the 2 centaurs and a boat with 3 heads, which are usually coastal raiders. Apparently, they think that this is really, really enticing, and they decided to leave the coast and go inland. You see the banners of the warlords, because they usually make sure that they can be seen everywhere. There's a great sword piercing the sun and 3 hounds dismembering a prey, which are warlords for hire, armies that you can easily pay to invade someone else. They're the most organized. They know how to make war. And even more worrying, you were able to catch a glimpse that they are currently assembling catapults. They should be ready in a few hours. You were able to see more priestly emblems. So there was the silver hammer on a cloud, which is a human god of war, the hammer bursting from the ground, dwarven god of war. You were able to see the emblem of the elven god of knowledge, but you were also able to see one that is a book with the sun and the moon on each side. You don't know that godly emblems. Audience or Jorg would be able to probably tell you with a religion roll what it means. Although with a book and what these symbols can represent, you sort of had an idea that it's not good, because the moon was more prominent than the sun. Mages, you were able to see another one. The Crafton Tower. It's an independent library known for its flexible moralities. You have your guild, your personal guild has had to deal with them on a few occasions when they wanted specific component that you could find on specific creatures. You saw cultist, the anarchist cult. You saw it. You were able to see the hunter cult. They are present, although their camp isn't the biggest one, but they are present. And you were able to see another one, which, you have that, oh god damn it, not them again. It's a impaled skeleton. It's a necromantic cult. That's gonna be fun.
I'm getting tired of undead.
Well, audience gonna like it, but that does mean that every person you kill on that battlefield is someone that they can bring back.
Somehow I feel though that the war priests and the the necromantic cult aren't gonna get along that well.
Oh no, right now they get along because they all want the same thing. But with what Remy is seeing, it's becoming more and more obvious that if one of them thinks they're gonna get the upper hand on someone else, there might be some infighting. Keeping that in mind, among the guilds, there are a few that you saw, Remy, that feels interesting. You saw those that you saw earlier, but you saw also a crate with a cat's head drawn on it. It's a coalition of rogues for hire. They are really just mercenary rogue. You need to go steal some things from someone, pay them enough, and they'll get there. You need someone to kill someone. Yeah, pay enough, we'll do it. You saw a leaf floating on some water. That's a ranger guild. Usually they're for good, not bad. It can be bad, depending on their intention if they get in, but could be an ally also. One, you're not sure you want to tell audience, but why not? Golden harp with gems encrusted on it. It's a bard's guild. There weren't numerous. There were a handful of them. So basically someone's there to watch this and turn it into a story. I'm gonna leave it up to you. If you say it, tell it to audience. The last one, that's interesting for you personally, Remy. It's a snake with a noose tail. You probably had a brief moment when you went up and you saw that. You said, hey, I know those guys. They've worked with your guild on a few occasions. They specialize in rare creature poaching. Depending on who paid them, their loyalty to your guild may outweigh the money that they were given. Depends on how much they were given. But you know them, and if you identify yourself to them, who knows? You may have an ally. And that's what you were able to see. The emblems that you were able to recognize. There were a few others, but, the whoop was a bit too fast. Some of them were just blurry image. You try to reproduce them in front of you, and, man, it's like taking a blurry picture. I don't... So, what did you tell your party?
I mean, he will show the new ones of interest, including the bards, but mostly just so that they are not unintentionally targeted when all hell breaks loose.
All right. So you have a better understanding of who's there and what they may be planning. You did see catapults being assembled.
Yeah, he makes special note of the catapults.
Audience, I'd say Jorg can also make that a religion roll.
Alright. Religion.
Jesus, this game hates me.
-1, 0.
2 + 5, 7.
And what did you roll, audience?
1 - 1, 0.
Okay.
-1, 0.
Well, audience, the emblem doesn't involve a woman drawn on it, so you have no clue what that is. And
Literally have negative knowledge about it.
And, well, fortunately, Jorg did not have 0, but it's not enough to get what I wanted to add as information. All you can give as additional information is the priestly emblem that Remy couldn't recognize. It's a god of deception.
God of deception.
Yep. God of deception.
That's what it wants you to think.
Okay, so everyone shares the information, which means people should be near Remy. Jor, you get out of the tower. It just so happens that you're not far. Fisher, you weren't far. You just get back close with Audience and Antasia. And that means the battleground probably looks like this at that moment. So don't worry, Jorg. We're 3 minutes away from finishing. You'll be able to go to bed. Just as you identify that, you start hearing a rumble.
Oh shit.
And suddenly the ground bursts open, but it's not an explosion. It bursts open as in opening like a maw, and people start coming out. It's literally
Inside?
a spell that allows to shape the ground. Priests were probably using that as Remy went.
Okay.
And a portion of the ground splits open.
What type of priests?
They're not inside of the wall. You're getting the impression that they tunneled it, but what comes out, they all look more warrior-y or combat rogue.
Okay. But do they have an emblem?
The emblem, yeah, Dwarven God of War.
Ah, that tracks.
Unless they immediately attack us, I am not going to immediately attack.
Are they inside the
specifically
walls
these
or
guys.
outside?
Inside. They just
Inside.
used magic to burrow.
To burrow in.
A normal burrowing with shovels would probably not have worked, but because they're burrowing with magic, it did.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to fly and put myself between them and the Exiled, but I am not going to immediately attack them unless they attack me, because these guys, I would more align with good people. I would actually shout in Dwarven, come no further.
Okay.
We'll see if they immediately attack. I will kill them.
Some slack. They were just born.
Yeah, they are just bored.
That's how dwarves reproduce. They just pop out of holes in the ground. Just come out swinging like that.
I do. I prefer not to kill a bunch of priestly dwarves. I kind of like dwarves, but if they force me to, I will.
All right. So, what exactly do you tell them?
At first, I was just going to put myself between the Exiled, them and the Exiled, so I'm going to fly down in front of them.
Do you want to put a show?
I mean, I'll fly down with my wings outstretched. I think that's showy enough. I'll pull out my sword.
I mean, do you want to add a roll to it to have a bit
Oh!
more...
Sure.
You know, like a performance or a...
I can do a performance or a persuasion or something.
Ah.
I can do a performance. I'll do a performance. 15 plus 8 is 23.
23, all right. It's a pretty convincing, very heroic way of jumping, flying, and falling down. Hero pose in front of them. And you tell them...
I'd say in Dwarven. Hello, I'd be like, greeting warriors. I know you're itching for a fight, but this is not the one that shall best serve you.
You don't want
Nor
these things.
Yeah, nor would I wish to slay warriors of your people.
Okay. They'll. Jorg, would you like to finish here? Whether there's a fight or not, it's not gonna happen tonight. So
I gotta go to bed.
that's okay. See you next week.
See ya. I gotta find that there.
You tell them that, and oh yeah, that's right. The cameras are all out of whack. Yeah,
That's
hold on.
okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm in the right place. It's only Remy that's in the wrong place.
No, I think Jorg's in the right place.
Oh, okay.
It's just Remy that's in the wrong place. Everyone else is in the right place. Remy just became Jorg again.
Don't worry, it's not gonna last. All right, so you tell them that, and they have a brief moment where they all get out expecting to be attacked right as they get out, and they all stop and look at you for a brief moment. You hear one of them respond in Dwarvish. Well, then just step aside. You don't need to be involved in this, Paladin.
Audience will shake his head. You can't. You know I cannot do that. I have vowed to protect this exiled behind me, and a paladin cannot break his vows. But you, I am surprised. I'm surprised you would rather fight us than the. And I'll kind of spit on the ground as I say this. The evil and necromantic cults that lie at this doorsteps. You have many glorious battles that you have, and yet you choose to fight to what? Talk? To free? I'm surprised at your dwarven ways.
We are followers of war, and there is no greater war than that what it can bring. One way or the other, either we get them out of here, and it brings destruction to everything, or we die warring with you.
If death is what you wish for, there's quite a large army out there you could fight. Why do you choose to fight us?
Because you're in the way, and they're too scared to be in the way.
I'll tell you what, because I do not wish to slay all of you. Pick a champion. If I best him, you will fight for us. If he bests me, well, maybe my party will step aside.
Oh, that's tempting for them. That's really tempting.
Do it.
One of them looks at you for a brief moment and says, well, if that's how you want to do it, let's do it properly. Your best four against our best four.
I think we can accept those terms. I'll look up it.
All right. We have a fight set up for the next one.
Alright guys, we might have got some war priest dwarves on our side. We just gotta beat their best four.
I don't know. This doesn't look like a Thunderdome.
Anything, it could be a Thunderdome. Just gotta have faith.
All right. This is what their line looks like. 4 of them step up. There's 4 of you there. They look eager to fight. But we're even the 4-on-4. We're not gonna start a fight this late.
No. The funny thing is we definitely drop one of the characters on Tazi if they actually want our best, but we're not gonna do. We're not gonna do that. If they want.
Well, I'm not gonna go against your will. You're the players. You can decide if one of you wants to step away.
No. We'll do this. We'll do this straight up. I also, audience is gonna assume that these are not necessarily like the highest. He would feel a little bad. He's like, I don't need to fighting with here. This is a fight. I'll pick from the party. I mean, it is her fight, but.
Well, she's a bit more worried about because she just looks natural 20 on an insight roll. Looking at them, she's confident in your abilities to succeed this. There seemed to be a slight level difference.
I will. Audience would wish her to Remy and Fisher and be like, injure them until they stop, but don't try not to kill them if we can. Even if that's what they seek. I don't wish to.
Alright.
Actually, I'm gonna roll an insight as well. I kind of want to judge if these guys are equal in strength, we might have to. If these guys are weaker than us, I just walk in and just fucking murder them. He's gonna feel really bad. Oh, that's not my. Where's my insight? I'm gonna also insight this shit. Oh, never mind. Audience has no idea how powerful they are. Rolled the 2. They could be stronger than us. They could be weaker than us. I don't know.
I don't know. I want to hear that speech of audience saying, "All right, guys. I don't know. They look tough, but maybe they just look it. And they're not actually it."
They're dwarves. All dwarves look tough.
Yeah.
Listen, it's good to have a healthy respect for your opponent, no matter. Even they could be level 1s. It's good to have a healthy respect.
Yeah.
Now, if they are level 1s, and I Divine Smite one of them, they're just gonna die, which will be unfortunate.
No, they're not gonna die. They're gonna disappear.
they're gonna vanish.
But then they will rise from the ground as undead.
No, they won't. You need a body for that to happen.
Well, yeah, if you do twice the end damage, what they do, they probably are gonna lose their head or something like this. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna try and not do twice their damage, but we'll see.
I mean, that would have to be 24 in one hit.
With the
I
Divine
think all of us
Smite.
here are capable of that.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I know I am, but that's because literally all my damage is in one hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I don't Divine Smite, I won't do that. But if I Divine Smite, it's
pretty.
It's pretty likely I get at least very close to 24.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll fight some dwarves next thing, and then see if we get a little army of dwarves to help us out.
Yeah. All right. Let's try and be kind to Remy, and we go back to the role play screen and not put him in the place of Jorg. Just to have a good ending for Remy.
Not to be confused with a happy ending.
No, just a good ending. Don't go too far. All right.
He's gonna edge this.
So, campfire, because it's fun ending on a campfire. Alright, so thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for watching. We had a little bit more lore, but now things are gonna start piling up and becoming more dangerous. So, hope to see you next week for what's most likely gonna be one type of fight after the other. Yeah. That's the wrong finishing screen. There you go. So, like I said, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Hope you had a pleasant whatever part of the day it is, wherever you are in the world. Hope you found whatever you were looking for when you came here. Hopefully it was entertainment and you find us entertaining. If you want to help the channel, we got Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Patreon, link for donations, so pick something. No matter what you do, it's going to help. And if you want to do something else, we'll just spread the word of the channel. That also helps. Schedule. Remember, Wednesday live campaign. 7:30 Western Coast time. Friday rebroadcast. 7:30 Eastern Coast time. And in between, we have map making and world building with me on Thursdays, 9:30 Eastern Coast time, because that's where I live. And I think that's everything I can possibly say. Because for some reason, I still get asked sometime, what's the schedule? Even though it's written when I'm offline.
People don't like to read it.
I know! That's annoying a little bit. That's really annoying.
Yep.
It happens all the time in my work. It's written in front of me what I'm serving today. And what are you serving? There's an image also. I was serving apples, and I was asked if I'm serving coffee crisp. Apples. I've got apples next to me and in front of me and on the desk with me, but you're asking me if I'm serving coffee crisp?
It was a mole. They were testing it.
Oh, the story of that one is so much longer and exasperating. So, but I did get a story of a failed apple crumble. So, thank you for watching. Hope to see you again next week. And as always, stay safe and stay healthy. Good night.
Good night.